Welcome back to Alaska and day 3 of the multi-night land component of our cruise tour adventure. Yesterday we traveled from Seward to Talkeetna, stopping at the Alaskan Native Heritage Center along the way. And we had a lot of fun with Yari, our Yupik storyteller. Today we're traveling from Talkeetna to Denali by rail, and it is beautiful. As we traveled north from Talkeetna, the rail tracks veered away from the road system to reveal the hurricane backcountry area, with views of the snaking Indian River and the amazing sight of Hurricane Gulch from atop a 296-foot bridge. And we are traveling in the luxurious Wilderness Express Rail Carriages, a fantastic way to travel in Alaska. In the glass-domed upper level, 80 persons sit comfortably with wide, luxury leather seating, power ports, full bar service, the unobstructed views of the beautiful Alaskan landscape. Our dedicated local escort is traveling with us, but also a railcar host is narrating the experience. It is an awesome day. Now we have a spectacular day ahead of us in Denali National Park. The 6 million acres of pristine and wild land are home to wolves, caribou, bears, and countless other species. And we've got about an hour before we get there. Earlier on in our rail journey, I was lucky enough to spend some time with the conductor of the Alaska Railroad. So let's meet him and join us tomorrow as we're in the land of the midnight sun. I'm here with David, the conductor of the Alaska Railroad, who's been kind enough to spend some time with us to talk about this amazing rail experience. Thank you, David.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So I understand that the history of the Alaska Railroad goes back over 100 years, and it survived presidents dying, the great earthquake, and once-in-a-lifetime floods. So can you tell us a little bit about where the railroad is today with the route that it takes and the passengers that it carries?
So the railroad does have a really long and amazing history. It does go back quite a ways. And today we take passengers every single day during the summertime, and then once a week during the wintertime. And we take a lot of cruise ship passengers who get on down in Seward, and then we have routes that go up to Denali National Park and see some of the areas in the interior of Alaska. And we see a few areas that are only accessible from the train.
Awesome.
So there's some sites that people can only see from the train that you can't get from a motor coach or traveling by car. And we also have freight operations as well. We haul a lot of the construction gear and like things that are needed throughout the state. So it's definitely a vital lifeline for the state, as well as being a great way for people to see the state of Alaska.
I love it. And how long have you been a conductor for?
I've been a conductor. This is my second summer.
Okay.
But I've been working on the trains for about 9 years.
And as someone who sees to my understanding, roughly 500,000 people who are traveling on this rail experience each year, what is it that you see from the folks from the lower 48 who are just connecting with the amazing views outside? What is really exciting them?
A lot of people have never been on this type of train before, where you can have these great windows and views like this. It's a little bit different from some of the railroads that they've ridden on down south. And it's just a really unique and great way to see the state.
And even though those passengers from the lower 48, they're having amazing visiting experiences, again, I understand this is a crucial rail line for those Alaskan folks who live out in the country to be able to connect to the local cities. I believe it's called the Hurricane Route, is that right?
Yeah, the Hurricane Turn train goes north from Talkeetna, and there's an area where folks who live out there have their only connection to the outside world basically is the rail line, where they're homesteading off in the wilderness and have their properties that are not connected to the road lines. So a lot of times they'll take that Hurricane Turn train, which is the only flag stop train in the United States left, where people can actually.
And that's what a flag stop is, right?
Yeah, you can flag down the train. So you can with that train, you can, like you're hailing a taxi, you can stand by the tracks and flag it down, hop on board, and they'll sell you a ticket on board. You don't have to have a ticket in advance. And then that train, you can also anywhere along its route, if you want to get off to go camping, you can let the conductor know, and I want to get off at milepost 245 or something like that, and they'll let you off there, and then you can camp and then catch it on the way back and get back to civilization.
I love that this is an experience for folks from the lower 48 in order to see the beautiful countryside. but it's still an integral part of local Alaskans in order to survive in the last frontier.
It is, yeah, and a lot of our freight traffic as well will come up on the barge system and then get offloaded in Whittier, and then crucial supplies will be brought that way from by sea from the lower 48, and then we'll take it the rest of the way up to Anchorage and on to Fairbanks.
David, that's awesome. Hey, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
You're very welcome.